Hi everyone, Heather here, and today I'm going to be teaching you about concept circles. Concept circles are a visual means of teaching comprehension skills to students, which shows them how to make connections between a key concept, hence the name, and different words that connect to it. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a concept circle that I just completed with my boyfriend Kent, who I'll be bringing on in a minute to demonstrate. So right here is the concept circle that I created. So up here, a student will fill out what the main concept of a text is. So in this one, we see where Kent wrote. And then over here is the circle where they will put different words that connect to this key concept. After writing those down, students will go ahead and write sentences down here that connect the words that they put on the pie pieces to the key concept. It's a great way to give students a visual means of making connections. All right, so really quick here, I'm going to go through this article for you guys as well so you understand a little bit of what Kent was looking at. So the article is 24 million Mexicans without access to food, which is nutritious or of quality. Children are most affected. This first paragraph really sums up the article very well. The rest of the article just kind of goes into further detail on this point. And it says that the right for nutritious foods in Mexico is not available to everyone. Children are the group most vulnerable in this area, and in 2016, 24.6 million Mexicans, or 20.1% of the population, were insecure in food at a severe or moderate rate. As I said, the rest of it just kind of goes into detail. I have listed some words that I would think that Spanish 1, which would be the level that I would use this article at, wouldn't be able to recall at this level. So alcance, available, detalla, detailed, and some other ones for cheap, oils, fats, and I kind of continued that for the rest of the article. So that's what we'll be reading. All right, so this is my volunteer, Kent, and I'm going to be teaching him how to fill out a concept circle today. Now, prior to filming this part, Kent and I read through this article together. As you can see, it's completely in Spanish. Kent doesn't speak a lot of Spanish, but he does speak a little, so we read through it together, and then he asked me some questions about comprehension, going through different words that he could not recall, which I helped him with. This would be a good strategy to use with some students that don't know Spanish at the same level and may need some extra assistance. So far, Kent has filled out what the key concept of the article is, which was food insecurity, and he identified 3 different concepts that relate to food insecurity, and he wrote them down over here, which were income classes, food groups, and children. So how does income classes, or how do income classes relate to food insecurity, Kent?
All right, Heather. The article states that the poorer people, based on their income, are most affected by food insecurity.
All right, so at this time, Kent is going to write down that sentence on the concept circle sheet. Okay, so what we can see here is that Kent made a connection between poor classes and food insecurity. So he would continue to do that and make connections here with food groups and also with children on number 3. And all those connections would relate back to the concept of food insecurity. Thank you so much, Kent. The key benefits that I see to using concept circles are the 3 different comprehension strategies that they evoke. The first is identifying a key concept. For example, in the article that we read, the key concept was food insecurity. The next is making connections between different terms and that key concept. So Kent identified the 3 different key terms, income classes, food groups, and children, as a connection between that and food insecurity. And then the third is articulating those connections through writing a complete sentence. I see a difficulty or disadvantage in using a concept circle in maybe a class like math or science, where articles aren't generally used. and it may be difficult to find an article related back to a specific math concept that you would like students to relate terms that they may know to. But I think that you could work around that by perhaps modifying the concept circle in order to suit those needs without using an article if you cannot find one. There are quite a few modifications you may need to make in order to suit the needs of English language learners or special needs students. One thing that I think is really important in the case of reading an article is individualization and individualized help. I sat down with Kent and read through it because I knew he wasn't a Spanish speaker, and I helped him along the way and answered any questions he had. I also included little cheat words in there or translations from Spanish to English to suit his needs, and you could do that with any language, just give them a little help. For special needs students, I think that a really great idea would be to allow them to, instead of write a word, to draw a picture and then relate the picture to the key concept instead. And that helps some students, if appropriate, be successful in that. Overall, I think that concept circles are a really great way to teach students comprehension skills, and I think that we should be using them in our classrooms, whether that be in English or Spanish, to help students successfully learn how to comprehend the literature they're reading.